Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Uxbridge College Virtual Open Day for Public Services. Great to have you with us today. My name's Lucy. I'm hosting your session today, and I've got my colleague Colin, who is on a residential with our public services students, waiting in the wings to be able to share some information about uniform services and policing and public services at Uxbridge College. Just to let you know, we're recording the session today and we are using the chat box. So if there are any questions, please pop them into the chat box, and we ask you to remain on mute and also cameras off, please, whilst we have the session in progress. So without further ado, I shall hand over to Colin and the team who are in the New Forest, I believe. Over to you guys.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, folks. It's Colin Howe here from Uxbridge College. We are currently in the New Forest. Okay, and this is some of the public service students that are on their first residential since all the crazy lockdowns. So welcome. Hopefully you guys will be joining us next year and you'll have the opportunity to come and get out on some residential as well as learn a little bit about the public service course. So welcome to Uxbridge College. Should we go on to the next slide, Lucy? Okay, so a little bit about the course. Okay, the aim of the course is to prepare you for the academic and physical challenges of the uniformed services. So that includes the police, the fire service, the army, navy, Royal Air Force, etc. Now, most of those services require you to have a certain physical capability to be able to do the job, and naturally there are fitness assessments. So the last thing we want you to do is come through a course and then get to the end of the course and then get rejected based on physicality. Okay, so what we want to do is get you physically fit, okay, and ready to go. So that's a major part of the course. In addition to that, okay, we want to increase your chances of employment. So we do that through the likes of some of the subjects that we deliver. So we make that relevant to employment so you have an understanding of the type of job that you'll be going into. We explore other opportunities to develop employment options. So this is where we look at the actual job itself and come up with a number of sort of career pathways, that type of thing, and try and give you a bit of an understanding of what that actually means. Okay, further to that, we also develop and prepare you to investigate options of university. Some of the pathways that you might go into in the services include, university requirements. Okay, so for example, you're going to go to the police, you might consider doing policing, criminology. But in addition to that, so you stand out a little bit more, you might consider security management, terrorism studies, and those types of topics. So forensics, that type of thing. So regular fitness, okay. We have our own sort of fitness assessments, which run very closely to what you'd expect to see in the uniform services, and you will do on average 2 to 3 fitness sessions a week. The next slide. We also develop your skills, which includes pushing your leadership and teamwork. So we have a number of team building activities that will allow you to take charge as well as develop those important skills like communication, teamwork, a little bit of sort of management, that type of stuff. So that's the sort of stuff we're looking at there. So it's the type of stuff that you come across in the services. Work experience. So this is where we go on a range of visits. You can see in the picture there, we're visiting Avon Fire and Rescue Service. So we visit the police, the army, the navy, the Royal Air Force. We try and visit the prison service when we can. Okay, so they're the types of visits that you'll likely come across during your time, of course. So all lessons are designed around those jobs. So if you're lucky enough to come on the policing pathway next year, we've got a large unit on forensics. So this is where you'll look at criminal investigation in line with forensics. You'll do that also on the uniform service course, but not to the same degree. We do things like major incidents. I think B's just arrived to disturb my PowerPoint. You'll do things like major incidents, security management, that type of stuff. Okay, already mentioned some of the trips. We visit New Forest, which is where we are today. We do activities weeks, go up to the Brecon Beacons. and a variety of other trips and visits. You'll see those trips are designed to develop certain skills, which include things like navigation, expedition skills, team building activities, etc. Okay, you'll notice in the picture there, some of our students are in uniform. So we have currently 3 colours, which will be extended to 4 next year. So that's maroon, green and grey. That's the current uniform service colours. If you come on the policing pathway, you'll be in purple. It's not a sort of traditional uniform where we expect you to have shiny shoes and pressed trousers, but it is a new uniform nonetheless. And that's designed for you to be comfortable with being part of a team and build a bit of an ethos for that team. Okay, just pan to the side here. You can see some of our students going off. Okay, so they're on the second part of their leg. Okay, so they've got a couple of kilometres to walk today. In regards to uniform, okay, you get a hoodies, polos, shirts, t-shirts, that type of thing. This is the team. So you got Jeff on the left there, Paul, myself, Jackie and Keith. A wide range of experiences. Okay, so within the team, we have over 120 years experience between us. Okay, that includes time with the Met Police, which is about 50 years, the Army, Airborne Forces, which is my sort of pathway. We've got Guardsmen, we've got Royal Marines, etc. Okay, Lucy will probably skip over these, but I'll just quickly sort of introduce myself. So I'm the course team leader for the course. Okay, as you can see there, 6 years in the British Army, working in the security sort of management role. So that's a little bit about me. We'll go on to the next one. Okay, please feel free to pause this if you want to have a little bit more of a detailed look. So Jackie Cadwell, former Met Police, sort of 20 years with them. Paul McConnell has done a split of roles, so he's been with the Met Police for 29 years, but he's also spent 5 years with the Royal Marines. We have Jeff White as well, literally just left the British Army after 25 years of service. Okay, mostly with PWRR, Princess of Wales's Royal Regiment. Okay, and the final one is Keith. Okay, 10 years with the British Army, mostly with the Irish Guards. Okay, and Keith has recently just joined us as well. Okay, management team around us, so both mostly from the sort of travel world. We have Kai Barnes, who's the head of school, and Jess, our section manager. And there, so Kai looks after sport, travel, and public services, and Jess is our sort of section manager who looks after travel and public services. Okay, so types of assessment that you're going to come across in the course will be work experience, role plays, research tasks, problem solving, presentation skills, teamwork, peer reviews, tabletop exercises, etc. So what is probably good news for most of you is there are no exams. So we try and vary the assessments so you have a little bit of fun in the more practical sense. There is quite a bit of written work, so there are a lot of essays. The good news is no exams, so that's quite a good thing. Okay, some of the units you're going to come across, government policies. This is where we learn about the laws of the country, how the public services are governed. Okay, sometimes we go off to the Houses of Parliament as part of that trip. Of course, land navigation, which is what we're doing a bit of today. So that normally takes us to the New Forest map and New Forest and the Brecon Beacons. And during that trip, we'll learn about how to read a map, how to support your group, sort of things you might want to take on an expedition. This links into leadership and teamwork. So you learn a little bit of psychology around that. We'll challenge you in practical scenarios, that type of thing. Okay. So the next two, international institutions and human rights. The next slide is war, conflict and terrorism. So this is where we look at the wider issues around the world. We look at how human rights are being breached how conflicts are caused. We look at methods of terrorism, that type of thing, and how the public services manage, insurgents, terrorist groups, that type of stuff. Fitness testing. Okay, so you'll go back to your sort of PE lessons that you used to at school, and learn the sort of basics of anatomy, how to train appropriately, how to get a good nutritional diet, etc. Okay, this is what I mentioned earlier, planning and management of a major incident. So this is where we look at the combined public services and how they work together to deal with anything from, let's say, RTA, where there's been a massive chemical spill from a truck, could be a plane crash, that type of stuff. And then we look at the combined public services and what they will do and what their retrospective roles are. Security management, one of my units. So this is where we get you looking at the roles of the prison service, border force, conducting bag searches, physical searches. So it's quite a practical unit. We do go a little bit more into depth in certain ways. But yeah, generally, it's a good sort of fun unit. We've got our own security archers, you can see there. So a little bit about the levels. We have a level 1 course. Entry requirements for that are 4 GCSEs at grade 2 or above. Really good retention achievement rates last year. Then we have the level 2, again, 1-year course, and that is 4 GCSEs, grade 3 and above, or a level 1 qualification. Again, very, very good retention and achievement. Level 3, 3 different pathways here. There's a lower level 3 and then 2 higher level 3. So the lower level 3 is equivalent to 2 A levels, and that is 4 GCSEs at grade 4 or above, or a level 2 qualification. The other 2, which is the uniform service pathway or the policing pathway, so 2 different pathways there, 5 GCSEs at grade 4 or above, ideally including maths and English, or one of the above. So a little bit new this year. Okay, we're lucky to introduce the additional pathway to policing. We have a lot of students that are looking at going to the police. We've got loads of experience within our team for that particular pathway. So 50 years, as I mentioned before. So we've created that new pathway where you specifically focus on the aspects of policing. So it's a little bit more of a detailed approach as opposed to the uniform service approach. In regards to uniform service approach, okay, you will still cover aspects of policing. So there's nothing to say that you can't go into the policing world from that course. But if you really are set on the police, then perhaps the policing pathway is for you. Okay, so how does the level 3 stack up? Well, if you do the higher level 3, you are going to, Lucy, if you just click on that one, you are going to get the equivalent of 3 A levels. If you do merit over the course of the 2 years, that is equivalent to a CCC grade, okay, which is not too bad. Okay, if you're looking at university, ideally you want about 94 UCAS points, so you can see how the points stack up in regards to the grades. Okay, type of career pathways that we've seen students go on to, working with the British Army, in the Royal Artillery, signal engineers, weapons engineer with the Royal Navy, Met Police, okay, RAF Regiment, parachute jump instructors with the Royal Air Force, Border Force, Grenadier Guards, Parachute Regiment, although I don't think he's passed yet, Fire and Rescue Service as apprenticeship pathways. So that's just some of the career pathways that students have been on. I have a funny feeling the cameraman keeps cutting my head off. Okay, university pathways include some of the above: Portsmouth, Coventry, Lancashire, West Thames, etc. We have students doing anything from international development diplomacy, international disaster relief, law, cybersecurity, got security management there, terrorism studies, sports coaching, criminology, psychology, policing. So loads of variety. We'll go through that with you and explain all of those options and help you find the correct pathway to set you up for the future. Okay, and final thing, we want you on the course. If you are keen to join the public services or have a sort of a general interest, I think you'll love the course. Very practical, really going to enjoy it. Okay, lots of sort of team sort of spirit activities going on all the time, loads of fun fitness, keeping active, etc. So if that's the type of course for you, perhaps that's the job for you, then Uxbridge College wants you. That's it. So
Thank you.
I guess I'll open to questions then.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colin, for sharing, and thanks to the students behind. Hope you're having a good trip. Great for you to be able to deliver the open day today on a real life residential. This is the kind of thing that our students get to experience, so we're seeing it here today. So just following up to find out if there are any questions. One of the questions that just coming through, Colin, is just about progression routes. Can students progress on from various levels to from one level to another?
Yeah, so when we did the grades, we looked at level 1 moving up to level 2 moving up to level 3. So that's the general pathway. We do have some students that have actually moved from our level 3 course and are actually moving across to the policing level 3 this year. So that's quite a new thing for us. So yes, there are those possibilities. We don't run a HE pathway at the moment because we think if you're going to go that route, certainly from the policing point of view, you're better served going into the police apprenticeship pathway or some of the university pathways that we've demonstrated. But generally, there is that level 1, level 2, stepping up to level 3 that most students do actually do.
That's great, thank you. So one of the things, if you are not sure what grades you're going to get, or you might get better grades or worse grades perhaps than you expected, don't worry, do come and talk to us, because there are different options that you can get involved in, and Colin and the team will help to sort that out when it comes to enrolment time. Just in terms of if anybody hasn't seen our Welcome to Uxbridge College video, that is available as well. There'll be a link put into the chat for that. Other questions that's come through, Colin, I think you're in the New Forest today, are you?
Well, what was one of the students said? Callum, do you want to come in? Come on, Callum. So, Callum, where are you at the moment?
The New Forest.
And
Callum, what have you been doing today, Callum?
Walking.
Okay, and?
Navigating with a map and compass, a pen.
There we go. So
lots of skills, and obviously skills that are used across a multitude of different disciplines within the uniform services and policing as well. And as Colin said, new opportunity for policing this year. So if that's something that you're interested in, then do get in touch. No other questions have popped through to us so far. So just remains to say thank you very much, Colin. Thanks, students. I hope you have a great rest of the trip. If there are any questions, or anybody listening today is not quite sure if they want to apply, I'd say get your application in. You can have a chat with the team, find out. The students will be able to share their experiences as well. You can see that they're obviously having a good time today. Website has got lots more information. It's not too late to apply to us, so pop an application through. You can do that online, and if you need any other questions answered, then just get in touch with us, 01895 853333, or you can message us on inquiries@uxbridgecollege.ac.uk, or hop onto the website www.uxbridgecollege.ac.uk, and there's lots more information. And keep an eye on our socials as well, because you'll see bits and pieces coming through. The public services students have done a variety of charity events. They've run distances for charity. They've got involved in supporting our NHS. So there's lots of exciting things to get involved in as well, and you can catch up with that on the socials if you follow us at Uxbridge College as well. Just have a quick check. Any last questions?
Should we do a wave off, Lucy?
Absolutely. No further questions in. So yeah, do give us a wave off. Thank you, team.
Wave off. Bye. See you later.
Thanks very much, and thanks for joining us today. And as I say, any other questions, do get in touch. Thank you.
Right, see you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.